I see like the room tone just getting louder and louder.
I was wondering about that. Yeah.
Well, you can hear something?
I can hear like a deep noise there. We should be live.
Well, the only thing making a noise like that would be my computer. So I don't know. I
Well,
can't really do
clearly
anything
you have
about
to
it.
turn it off and get rid of it. It's going to ruin everything.
Yeah, I don't.
Also, we are indeed live.
Good.
Oh,
Well,
that made it worse. Oh, dear God.
that made it worse.
Yeah. Don't worry, when you talk, it goes away.
What? What is happening? I moved it like further away
I don't
from
know,
the computer.
man. I think you're good. Let's do it anyways. Let's do a podcast.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I don't. Now it doesn't look like it's that bad. Anyway,
Yeah, it's
whatever.
it's gone now. It's gone now.
I have no idea what to tell you. You're back. We're back with the show. We missed last
Hooray!
week. Talk to us about, or I should say, us. Talk to me because Paul's still in Japan. But how was your trip?
It was good. Uh, very busy. This was the first 4 day PAX East.
Right.
It does not need to be 4 days. It really
Okay.
doesn't. It really doesn't. I'm not gonna lie. I went to the convention being like, I'm not gonna be able to find things to do all 4 days. I succeeded, but barely. I would
Okay.
recommend against 4 day PAX East from here on out.
Yeah,
I
I'm seriously considering a PAX West this year, and I don't think I'm gonna get like a 4 day pass.
That's honestly that's fair.
Yeah.
Um, I at least got to play some cool stuff. I got to we had our panel. Panel went really good. Actually, I think we set a record for our panel.
And what's the new record then?
1,000 people in attendance.
Wow. Is that like the biggest stage they have?
No, no, we're still one tier down from the biggest stage.
Okay. So was your room full? Like how many people could be in your room?
Our room was 1,200, I believe, and we were at 1,000, so we still had a bunch of empty seats in the back. So there's still room to grow. So don't expect us on the main stage anytime soon.
How many people can the main stage hold?
I don't actually know. I think about 1,500.
Okay. You'll get there.
Eventually, just give it time. That's still really cool, though. Um, I had a bunch of parties I got invited to, and I missed all of them, so that was great.
What was the party you were most sad that you missed?
I kind of sad I missed the Twitch party because it was 80s themed, and they had basically rented out a giant arcade and bowling alley.
Oh, right, you had mentioned that. Okay.
Yeah.
What was more pressing? Why didn't you go to the parties?
I went to a tournament instead.
Okay.
And by the time I got out of the tournament and everything, it was too late to go. Or I could have gone, but I would have been exhausted.
Sure.
So
What was the tournament? How'd you do?
it was Bomberman.
Did you run this tournament?
No, no, no.
Okay.
This was like Bomberman Live on the Xbox 360, so like a weird version of it. And I got second. I got first place last year, and this year I got knocked out. I got beat by someone who I knocked out last year. So,
They practiced.
well, it's because all of us were playing R, and so we were all surprised the tournament wasn't R.
Okay. Sure. Sure. Did you get anything for second?
Yeah, I got a medal. I got a silver medal.
That's cool. What did first place get besides a gold medal, I'm assuming?
That's it. Gold medal.
Okay. That's cool. What else did you do?
Played a couple games, wandered around the show floor, met a bunch of people, had some meetings, had a meet and greet at the Twitch booth.
Okay. I didn't know that PAX was no longer connected to Penny Arcade.
What do you mean?
Apparently PAX is now like a separate company. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah,
no
yeah,
longer.
no, yeah, no. That's been forever.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like I think 4 years ago, back when South got introduced, I think they had. That's when they made it like just a separate entity.
Right. Yeah. Like it no longer officially stands for Penny Arcade Expo. It's just PAX, as
I
far as
mean,
I'm
it
concerned.
makes sense. It's on brand. I know that. I mean, the Penny Arcade guys are still there. I saw. I think it's Tycho at least once during the show.
Right. Yeah. I know they still have like a big presence, like, and they're like a part of like putting it on, and they like working with it, but
Hmm.
it's technically not underneath them anymore.
Yeah, Reed Pop technically owns Penny Arcade Expo, or I guess PAX now.
Okay. And
Which,
do they? I don't think I'd heard the name Reed Pop, but the name I had heard was was explained to me that they just run conventions. They're like a convention company.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
That is ReedPop as far as I'm aware of.
Okay. All right.
They've also done TwitchCon. Shit, they've also done another big one. I can't remember
They've
what
done
it is.
or they do TwitchCon?
They do TwitchCon, and they do another one that I'm blanking on right now. That's pretty big.
Okay. E3.
Not that big.
Right. You still got to make your way to PAX Australia.
I haven't done South either.
Oh yeah, you should do South first.
South is usually during MagFest or too close to MagFest to want to go.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Is Australia yearly now?
Yep.
When is that? When is that one? November?
That sounds right. It's somewhere in October, November, somewhere in our fall.
It would be super hot down there for sure.
God, that'd be murder. Yeah, that'd be their spring.
But
I would love to see Australia.
Yeah, Australia is definitely cool. Can't recommend that enough. So what were some other highlights from the show? Or lowlights? How was flying? Excitement?
Oh, it was a thing. Have you ever been in a flight where you're about to land and then they suddenly have to pull up and attempt to land again?
No, I've heard about that though, and it sounds terrifying.
This was my second time doing that.
Okay. What was the problem? Where were you landing?
Toronto.
Okay. Was it just snow? Was there another plane there?
No, it was too windy.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, I just realized we didn't totally drop a message in the Discord that we're live.
Oh, it's okay. I tweeted us out. I mean, people will find it. They can find it sooner or later. Oh, actually, someone in the chat right now is saying ReedPop also does New York Comic Con. Maybe that's the one?
Yeah, that's the big one I was thinking of.
Okay.
So, basically, like, the flight to Toronto was super smooth, like, nothing to worry about at all. It was perfectly fine. And then, 20 minutes left of the flight, the plane starts shaking a bunch, and they start warning us, like, it's going to be turbulent for the entire end. Just hang on. We go in for the landing, get right down to the bottom, and then we have to pull back up. And it's so windy. The plane is shaking like mad. A bunch of us, like, everyone in my row had to pull out their puke bags because we were all ready to throw up.
Ugh.
It was real bad.
I don't think I've ever puked on a plane.
I haven't either, but man, that's the closest I've come in a long time.
I puked on a boat, and I've gotten queasy on cars, but never on a plane.
No, well, that was real bad because then, like, they pulled up, we were shaking the whole time. Then they attempted to turn sideways so they could actually, like, turn around and attempt another re-entry, and that was awful. God, I'm pretty sure some people definitely threw up on our flight.
Gross. Did you have any, like, weird agent with your luggage or anything problems?
Getting there was fine, but my suitcase broke before I came back.
Okay, I think I saw a tweet about this.
Yeah, so we had to duct tape it shut.
Okay, that's not the end of the world.
Yeah, well, I mean, the hard part was getting duct tape. I had to go down to the hotel, and they had to get me, like, industrial-grade duct tape because that's all they had.
Okay.
And, of course, TSA tore it up because they inspected the suitcase, so it still stayed closed, at least, somehow. It doesn't seem like anything's missing.
Cool. What did you buy that you can talk about?
Couple of games, nothing too major. Some stuff for Saturn. Some stuff for NES because I'm trying to finish collecting NES. I'm trying to think of what else I picked up. Got a couple free games from viewers. Obviously, they're all bad. Oh, you know what? Actually, this is a cool thing I can show
like games
off.
they want you to stream, so they're like, here's a game. Okay.
Here's a bad game. Enjoy. Here's something cool I can talk about.
Okay.
I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera because I'm using the bad camera still. This is the HD GameCube hookup. So this is a little piece of plastic that basically hooks up to the back of a GameCube and gives you an HDMI out.
Oh, okay. All right. That would be handy.
Yeah.
And for the audio listeners, it looks like a mini GameCube.
That's the box anyways. I'm going to pop this open here because I have to hook this up.
I thought that was the whole thing. So it's just like a cord? Or
Not quite a cord here. It's literally like something you attach to the back. I should have been more prepared for this. Oops.
are these hard to find or something? I've
No,
never really looked into
these
it.
only just recently started coming out.
Okay.
Eon, I believe, is the company that puts these out.
Like,
yeah.
Can I find this on Amazon?
I don't know about Amazon. I know you can order it directly from their site. All right, here we go. Oh, it does not want to come out of the cradle. There we go. This is the Eon GameCube HD. You plug it into the back. See, that's why the two little caps are on top. It'll use the digital out. It requires the original models of GameCube, the ones that actually could support composite and component. But then it'll give you an HDMI out port on there, and it'll.
Wait, what did the new? I didn't know there was different GameCube models. What does the new GameCube models have?
They literally just get rid of the port. That's the only difference. Nintendo's weird and just likes to just remove things in their systems.
So the device you have, it looks like it has 2 ports, not including the HDMI one. I only seem to recall having to plug in one audio or video thing into the GameCube. Did I have the new GameCube?
Maybe there's 2 ports on the back if you have an older model. Newer ones just had the one. And yeah, like you could either plug in composite or component on the older ones, and newer ones were just component. I always get those 2 backwards. I think I still got that wrong. Just the standard RCA, the yellow, black, and
composite is the ones you're thinking of.
yeah. Thank you. So yeah, the yellow,
HD.
the yellow, red, and white. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking on Amazon, and there's a bunch of just like little boxes that if you had like a composite to composite cable, you could then get an HDMI through this box.
Yeah.
They do have the one you do for $150.
Yep, that's about right.
Is that really? I thought this was just like a crazy upsell or something.
No, this is something new. Now, I will point out, this is a demo unit I was given because the company wanted me to actually stream using this, so I did not pay anything for this. But this is also not a paid commercial for this. That's for my actual stream. No, I don't know.
They're selling these for $150.
Yeah.
That seems insane because these other boxes I'm talking about are 15.
Yeah, but at the same time, I believe those are actual upscalers. Well, this technically does not upscale. This puts it out in its native, using native processing and stuff like that. That was the main idea behind it, is that it does not upscale, so there's no latency. But it is technically, I think, 480p, which is the maximum that the GameCube could actually output.
Okay.
I know that my buddy Tom Fox has started using it recently. He says it's really good. It definitely makes his streams look nicer. But it is definitely kind of an enthusiasts-only thing, so most people probably will not go for this, or they'll just use like the Wii.
I was gonna say, up till now, you've probably just been using the Wii, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't really think of a reason to get that unless you are like a collector. Yeah.
Yeah, more or less. But like for collectors, this is probably a good thing here. Yeah, Dragonfire says the board inside costs around $50 to $60 but it's handmade, so that's why the price is higher.
Right. Well, that's cool.
This paid promotion of John's brought to you by Skype, which helps us all connect. I'm glad we still haven't lost that either.
Yep. I forget.
Yeah, what else? That's pretty much it for what I bought aside from games. Like I said, panel went well. A couple of friends had a panel as well. Went and saw theirs. Played games, and I guess that's what we should get to next. It was worse than here, which was weird. Although
yeah, I've been hearing you guys have been getting like a ton of snow.
It's been insane how much snow. It's snowing right now.
Yeah, that sucks.
It was super nice yesterday. All the ice was melting, and then it's been snowing all day today. And it's actually staying on the ground, which is frustrating. I'm so done with winter.
Yeah, we're pretty chilly compared to the time of the year down here too, and it keeps like raining every second day, so I'm kind of tired of that as well.
I just want to go cycling again. I just want to take my bike out again.
Sure. I just want to be wearing shorts. I just want my shorts back.
That's fair.
That's my thing.
Could be worse. You could be up here during more snow.
That's true.
I think it's supposed to snow again next week as well, so it's just like, oh, why?
Yeah, it's a hard winter this year. It's a long one. So I'm hoping we get like a real nice summer to make up for it, like a real hot one.
Yeah. No, it
But we'll
was
see.
it was super rainy and snowy. I think on like Friday in Boston, and then every other day was actually like really nice.
Okay.
There was
Did you
just
do
one awful
anything
day.
non-PAX in Boston?
Not really. Besides like going to like some restaurants and stuff like that, nothing real big.
Okay. Any like cool restaurants, or did you just hit like chains?
Just like cheesecake. Yeah, nothing real big.
Okay. I want to go to Boston one time.
But
Never
like
been there.
we've done trips to Boston where we've actually done stuff. Like we went to a Blue Man Group show. That was really cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, this was pretty much just a PAX exclusive trip, more or less.
Okay.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I want to hear about what you were playing there. So let's get into the show.
All right.
This is Top 10 Perspective. John's here. I'm here, Sean. As we said earlier, Paul is still in Japan, but I think he's back next week.
He said he was gonna miss 2 weeks, so this should be the second week.
Yeah. So I'm excited to hear about his trip. It looks like he's having a ton of fun. One video he put up on Instagram, because I know you didn't see it. He was at and I can't wait to hear the full story about this, but it was a sushi boat place where every time you finish your sushi, you would take your empty plate and slide it into a slot beside the table that you're on, and then that activated a game on a screen that was above you.
What?
Yeah, that sounds crazy. I can't wait to hear about that. He went to Robot Restaurant. I'm jealous because that was like the
Nice.
thing I missed out on. So look forward to next week's show when he's back and talking about Japan. That'll be good. But yeah, so it is April 12th, and let's just continue. What were you playing at PAX?
All right, I'm just gonna talk about games I played at PAX that weren't out, and we're gonna start with the showstopper, Shaq Fu 2: A Legend Reborn.
All right.
Game of the show, clearly. It is a side scroller beat 'em up,
Okay.
and it exists. I don't know what to say about this.
Yeah.
It's better than the original, which is not saying much. The beat 'em up aspect's fine, a little stiff, but otherwise good. It's very tongue in cheek, like it makes fun of itself pretty much the entire time.
I mean, I would hope so.
Yeah, I mean, like Shaq basically makes fun of the Indiegogo at some point. Enemies talk about like his failed like rap career and like Diesel the movie.
I don't know a ton about the first one.
Yep.
Is Shaq involved in this at all?
Like in the development or as a character?
I know he's a character, but I mean,
Yeah.
like in the development, like, does he know about this? Have people like, is there videos of him being like, yeah, no, I know about that game. It's hilarious or something.
I mean, he's got voice acting. He's voice acted his
Okay.
character completely in this game.
All right.
There's a lot of weird in jokes for him as well. Like Icy Hot is your full heal. And he does a lot of
Okay.
commercials for Icy Hot. Gold
Right,
Bonds
yeah,
also
yeah.
referenced, like a bunch of things that he sells.
He's in the movie Grown Ups 2. Is there anything about that?
Not yet, not that I
Yeah,
saw.
no. I'm just being silly.
The was it the humor seems very him. If you followed Shaq at all, like he's known for having a weird sense of humor, and a lot of the jokes
Okay.
seem like he probably wrote them or was involved in writing them.
I could see that.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be good for a playthrough, but then like that's probably it.
Like the novelty of it is kind of what you're there for,
Yeah.
as opposed to like a good game.
Are there any hilarious Shaq faces in Shaq Fu 2? Yeah, some. There's like animated cutscenes scattered throughout the game.
Okay.
Eventually, at least I was only allowed to play the first stage of the game. It's apparently only a 6-stage game, but the first stage took me about 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay.
We found a power up where you turn into a giant diesel powered robot, and you became Shaq Diesel and just started kicking the crap out of enemies.
Is that a reference? I don't know.
Diesel's his nickname. That's why.
Oh, okay. I had no idea. All right.
Also, he was Steel in the movie Steel. He was the main character in that, which is a Superman spinoff.
Okay.
Trying to think of what else. I know in a later stage you eventually turn into a cactus, but obviously I didn't get to play that in the demo.
Is that from something as well?
I don't think that's a reference to anything. I think he just turns into a cactus.
All right.
What else is of note?
Basketball stuff?
None. believe it or not. There was
Okay.
none that I encountered. The storyline states that he was an orphan raised by raised in China, but he
They
was
have basketball in China.
yeah. There's so far at least there was no reference to basketball at all in the first stage. The idea is that he was trained in the ancient ways of martial arts because he's been raised to become like the defender of justice. And you have
Okay.
to fight some demon that has taken over celebrities. So like stage 2, I think you're going after like some DJ or something like that. I'm not quite sure who the character was. I had to basically leave when the second stage started.
What's the story in the first game?
The story in the first game is that he's in China for a charity basketball event, and he goes to like a little shop trying to tell people about the game, and then someone mistakes him for a powerful warrior meant to save like a prince. So he gets transported to another world and has to fight a bunch of monsters trying to save a prince.
Okay.
So
All right.
the original Shaq Fu was a fighting game. This is a beat 'em up. I don't think there's multiplayer, and I asked if were there any unlockables after you beat the game. They said no. So like I said, probably a one and done.
Sure.
I'm gonna get it because I like weird shit like this, and I like Shaq Fu, so I'm like ironically a bit, but I don't know. For most people, this is probably not a pickup, but
So
if you
just
like,
watch your favorite streamer play it, is what you're saying.
yeah, and then judge based off of that.
All right.
So basically, this is dumb fun. Exactly. It's exactly what I want to be, which was like stupid. It's very self aware. It's like really a dumb fun time.
Which can be good.
Yep. Next up, I played the actual game of the show for me, The Messenger.
Oh, I've heard of that, but I don't know exactly what it is.
The Messenger was on that Nindies event that happened like a month ago, and it's also coming out on Steam. This is a Ninja Gaiden-ish platformer slash
Oh, okay, that
Metroidvania.
one.
Yeah. This one's coming out on Switch and Steam as far as I'm aware of. I think those are the only two platforms. Done by a Canadian dev. The controls are really tight. It handles really well. And a lot funnier than I expected it to be. All the dialogue was basically making fun of everything the entire time. You're a ninja who has been charged with carrying an ancient scroll across the lands to like a bunch of monks on top of a mountain.
Oh, this is another it's published by Devolver Digital again. Man, they're
Yes,
putting out like such good games.
they are.
Like it's almost to the point where it's just like if they're publishing something, it's probably good. Like there's probably something really cool about it that you should just play it.
Yeah. Like I said, controls really tight. One of the cool gimmicks they had there was like while you're playing through the game, there's points where you jump between 8-bit and 16-bit. So like you'll start playing like a
Okay.
Nintendo style game and suddenly it's like Sega Genesis style music. The soundtrack is phenomenal.
Yeah, I had a bit of it playing when I was on the Steam page. It sounds cool.
It's going to be a tough platformer. They had some things comparable to Celeste is actually what they brought up when I was asking about certain things. Like there's challenge coins you can go get. Lots of like things trying to kill you. The combat's really good. One of the main gimmicks was that you don't have a double jump. You have when you slash something in midair, like an enemy or an obstacle, you'll charge like a wind jump. So you'll get an extra jump out of that. And if you keep hitting things, you'll keep getting more jumps to get higher and higher.
Okay. Wait, so like when like you'll slash towards someone or you slash and then you can just jump again.
Slash and then you can jump again as long as you
Okay.
hit something.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So like I said, the combat was really fluid, very Ninja Gaiden-esque, but also a little Metroidvania-ish with like hidden paths, but secrets and stuff like that.
Are you getting like abilities though?
Yeah. So they threw a bunch at us during the demo, just because it's the demo. They want you to get into it. You got a grappling hook, which you could use by charging your attack button, which would either let you cling onto walls or like pull yourself towards enemies and stuff like that. Would help you
Okay.
get around. You got a windsuit that would let you glide.
Nice.
What else did you get? I'm trying to think here now. Some of the power-ups we got, we just didn't really know. There was like an ability to climb walls. There was a couple
Yeah,
things
I
on a
mean these
skill
are the
tree.
kinds of abilities I would expect for a Metroidvania.
Yeah, like honestly, it was really fun. It looks like it'll be like a fun, tight platforming game when that comes out. Highly recommend it.
I'm looking forward to it. It just says 2018 on the Steam page.
Yeah, I think they said August, or I think they said somewhere around fall.
Great, when every other game's coming out. Can't wait.
More or less. I also played a game called Eagle Island, which was another Metroidvania-ish. Actually, this was more roguelike than anything. It's very cartoony looking. You're a kid that runs around with a pet eagle, and you have to go through what seemed to be at least randomly generated rooms. But there were like certain power-ups you could get, like you could extend your health meter, you could do change how your eagle attacked, because there was 4 different elements you could align your bird to. Like you could either just do standard, you could do fire, ice, or electricity. So they all did different things. Like electricity made your attack super fast, but I think weak as a result. Fire was an explosive that damaged everything around it. Ice froze enemies in place, so you could use them as platforms or just run past them.
Looks like this was a Kickstarter game.
Yeah, I believe Screenwave Media is putting this one out. They're the same guys who put out Use Your Words.
Oh, okay. I've seen Use Your Words. That's the Jackbox
Ish game, yeah.
rip-off looking game. Haven't played it, but it looks exactly the same as a Jackbox game.
It's very similar. Yeah, it uses the same kind of setup. That one's fun. Eagle Island, I was really enjoying. Like, enemies didn't really drop things. The way you got drops was by doing like attack combos with your eagle. So like the more enemies you hit in a row, the better drops you got. Like there were gold seeds, there was like actual money.
Wait, I don't think it's an eagle that you have. I think it's an owl.
Oh, I'm not sure because
Well, I'm looking at the Kickstarter, and
yeah.
for one, it looks more like an owl, and
Yeah,
two, every single one of their stretch goals that they met, it has a check mark, and then it says owl accomplished.
Oh my god. Then yeah, I guess it is an owl.
I'm pretty sure it's an owl.
It does look a lot like an owl, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's the roundness of the face is what's
Yeah.
making me think owl. I don't know why they're I guess just the area is Eagle Island.
I guess, yeah. Like there was like big old eagles on the logo and everything, so that's probably why I just assumed it was just a weirdly designed eagle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, this kind of just looks like every other 8-bit platforming kind of game.
I think it was more so the fact that it's like a roguelike in the fact that the stages are randomized and stuff like that. Different enemies to fight, power-ups you get are randomized, it seemed.
Okay.
I didn't get to a boss fight, unfortunately, but it was really fun for what it was. I just don't know
Yeah, it
the
looks like
release
there's
date
like a
on
big
it.
scorpion at one point that you fight.
Yeah. So I don't know. That one seemed cool.
That one has a demo up on itch.io if people want to try it out already.
All right. Next up was Monster Prom.
Oh, I read a Kotaku article that was like, hey, here's some games you should look forward to. Monster Prom looks really cool.
Yeah, this is basically a 4-player competitive dating sim game.
Yeah, yeah. I was already interested of like, oh, monster dating sim. This sounds kind of fun. And then it said multiplayer, and I was like, how does that even work?
So
And you
basically,
do,
like
mini games or something.
you basically take turns doing like your dates and stuff like that. You're trying to find a date for Monster Prom. You are also a monster. You pick out of a couple of characters, and you can like basically update your stats based on which like decisions you make and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, you want to try to actually find like someone to go to prom with. There's like,
Did you play this in a multiplayer setup?
I didn't actually play this one. I just watched a tutorial, like a demo of this one.
Okay, was it multiplayer you were watching though?
It was
okay.
4-player. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Basically, they took turns doing their things. At the end, they had to make their final decision on who they would ask out. The round I watched, no one got a date, so everyone basically went to prom by themselves or just got dejected and didn't go at all. The writing
What determined no one getting a date?
the character they went for, if they didn't have the right stats, they got rejected.
Okay.
So on the side of the screen during the playthrough, you'll have your stats like, oh, speed, luck, stamina, whatever you want to call it. The equivalent for the game. And like you just have to have certain thresholds that you don't know about while you're playing.
And you're playing like mini games, it seems like.
Yeah. Like mini
Okay.
games and making decisions and stuff like that. Like it was actually a really cool idea.
Yeah, it seems cool. Is there still like a visual novel aspect to it?
Oh yeah, a lot of
Okay.
dialogue, like pictures and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
it is
Yeah, I am, like,
literally
super.
it is literally a multiplayer visual novel game.
I am super interested in what this thing is.
Yeah. For those who know YouTubers, Jesse Cox is the producer on this one, which if you know him at all, explains a lot.
I have no idea who that
That's
is.
fair.
But
He's a good dude though. Yeah, no. I believe that drops this year. That one's looking really good.
yep.
Trying to think of what else now. Oh, right. I played a game coming out on Steam called Puss.
Okay.
How
Sure
do
it's
I
not Puss?
No, Puss, Puss. Like as in cat.
Yep. Okay. I mean, isn't that also how you spell Puss?
No, one S for Puss.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't write down the word puss that often, so. Okay. Anyway, what's puss?
Puss is how do I
Oh,
describe
there's
this?
also an exclamation point. Don't forget that.
Oh, you're right. Puss is basically a vaporwave irritating stick game. So
Okay, I understand what vaporwave is. What is irritating stick?
So basically, you know how you have the control like a little character and you make sure you don't touch the sides or you take like damage or you lose immediately?
Okay, operation.
Sort of, but like a maze. You have to get your character through a maze without touching the sides.
Okay.
I guess when I was talking to one of the devs, they also compared it to Super Hexagon in a way. I don't know if I fully agreed with that comparison, but
Yeah, that's not exact. I mean, don't touch the sides, I guess, but this doesn't seem like Super Hexagon.
no.
Is it like really fast, like Super Hexagon or something? Maybe.
In a way, like you controlled the character, you control your little cat with your mouse, and if you touch the sides, the entire game like went staticky, and then your character disintegrated, and then you had to start all over. You had, I think it started with 9 lives because cats to get through 10 stages, and they got progressively harder and more ridiculous. But they were all like with this crazy vaporwave aesthetic, like 80s neon, like VCR, like focus issues, stuff like that.
Yeah. And then there's just like weird like 3D models. I'm looking. There's like a dolphin.
One stage I had to play, there was a rotating 3D model of a cat shooting fireballs at my other cat, and I had to just get past it. The one problem I had with this game, like it would have been a fine game, is that it is way too seizure-inducing. Way too many flashing lights and colors, and it just was a nightmare. By the end of the demo, my eyes were hurting.
I mean, the trailer warns you about that, so it's not like they're like hiding it.
No, but yeah, like it's very photosensitive. Like if you get seizures at all, do not look at this game at all. It's very hard on the eyes.
Yeah, this comes out June 6th.
Yeah. But if you want it was a cool game, and like I said, the aesthetic is the best part about it. I'm trying to there's a couple more things. Dauntless was a game I ended up playing.
I feel like I've heard this game as well.
This is basically a Monster Hunter-ish game. One of my friends is on the marketing team for this, so he snuck me in for a demo.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what this is.
And as someone who has not played a Monster Hunter game, or very little of, I guess I should say, it seemed fun.
This does not even have a Steam page yet.
Yeah, I don't think it's on Steam yet, because right now it's in closed beta.
Yeah, okay.
It was really fun, honestly, as someone who hasn't played Monster Hunter. The combat was very Dark Souls, I think was what they told me, and so like animation priority was the key thing.
So like all the games you have experience with.
Yes, all those games I love so much. It was honestly kind of fun. There were 5 different weapon classes. I used, I think, Twin Lance. There was also Great Axe. Like it was very. If you've played Monster Hunter, you'll be very comfortable with it. There were 6. I think they said by release there's 6 or 7 weapon classes going to be out. Twin Lance had this cool thing where like you had free-flowing combos with your 2 attack buttons that you could just kind of flow into each other, and then you could stop at any time and like lock in any damage you've put into like a fireball attack or a missile attack into your weapon.
Okay.
So the idea was you had to clock as much damage as possible, avoid getting hit, like dodge roll out of the way, store the attack energy, and then fire it at the monster you were trying to kill.
Homer in the chat is saying apparently Paul's played a bunch of this game.
Yeah, I assume he likes it if he's still playing it. Yeah,
and it even says like prepare for the hunt on this page, so they're definitely going for a Monster Hunter thing.
Yeah, was it Renoko says Dauntless is good and similar to Monster Hunter, so easy transition between the games if you play either. Yeah, no, I really liked it. I might actually pick it up. They gave me a bunch of closed beta keys, so
beta codes. Yeah,
yeah. So I'll probably jump in on that. I was gonna offer one to Paul if he didn't already had it, but I felt like he probably was already in.
Sounds like he does.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked it. If you like Monster Hunter, definitely give that a look. I believe it goes into open beta in May.
Okay. Hey, I tried to get you to play Dead Cells on the Switch. Did you do that?
No. Believe
Oh
it or not,
man.
there was a line for it.
Yeah. Well, I expected as much. That
But
game just needs to come out, man.
but I did get to play a couple cool games that were nearby it, including Fight Night.
Okay.
Knight.
Okay. I'm
This
more interested now.
Yeah, this is a dungeon crawler where you cannot pick up weapons. You are a cursed knight who can only fight with his fists. So you have to climb this tower that's like travels around the world, and you have to try to find who's at the top to break the curse. So you'll
Another
get in.
Kickstarter game,
Yep.
and there's a demo on itch.io. Oh, it's first person.
Yeah. It's a first person like beat 'em up, like you're like boxing a la Punch Out to fight enemies. Like you can bob and weave, do uppercuts, do hooks, charge your punches. There's supers. You can do like the 1 inch punch. You can do like 100 crack fist. It's really good.
It's kind of reminds me of Severed, the Drinkbox Studio game, because it's like a first person dungeon crawler. Although that one was grid based, this one is just
Well, the movement in this
walk.
one's grid based, but yeah, like you basically get into random encounters that are the fights. You could jump between two lanes. You can bob, weave. You can parry moves. It's really fun.
cool.
And in the same
art style is super interesting.
Yeah, the only downside was like there was a like the movement was a little shaky to get used to. It apparently like if you get motion sick, you can just straight up turn off those effects, which is good.
Okay.
I need to double check that I actually have the right name for this next game. Well, that doesn't help if I type the wrong thing in there. Yep, that is the right one. At the same booth, I got to play Brave Earth Prologue. This is the latest game from the creator of I Wanna Be the Guy.
Oh, so it's like super hard.
It actually wasn't super hard. It was challenging, but it wouldn't call it super hard. It's basically an homage to classic Castlevania.
I was gonna say this looks like Castlevania.
It is some Castlevania-ass Castlevania. But the movement is a lot more fluid. Sprite works really nice.
Yeah.
The demo had 3 different characters you could play as, and they each had their own different storylines. So it looks like when the game comes out, you have multiple storylines per character. Everyone played differently. The main character played a lot like Alucard from Symphony of the Night. The second girl was like a magic caster, and she could hover and stuff like that. The third
is the main character this like purple-haired one?
Yeah, the girl. As far as I'm aware of, I believe she's the main character.
Well, there's also a blonde girl.
Yeah, that's the magic user, and then there's like a purple-haired guy. I never actually got to play as him.
With a headband.
But he has a heavy sword, so his attacks are super slow.
Okay.
The music was excellent. It's very much Castlevania. Definitely not as hard as I Want to Be the Guy, but it was really rough. My only gripe about the game, I really loved it otherwise. My only gripe is in the bottom right of the screen, there's a portrait of your character while you're playing.
Yeah.
And the more damage you take, like the more freaked out they kind of look. Like they're like, oh god, they realize something bad's gonna happen. When they die, that portrait like explodes in like a shower of like blood and guts. So you'll see like eyeballs fly out and just like showers of blood. So it seems excessive. The one that
that just seems silly to me. I mean, I don't have an example of it here.
I guess if I had an example, I'd show it, but it just seems like it stands out, I guess, compared to the rest of it.
Well, this makes me think of like seeing like Duke Nukem's face as he's like getting more and more beat up.
No, like not quite like that. Like it's more because like it's literally like you see a face explode, and like you see viscera and stuff like that for a split second.
Okay.
And if your character like falls into like the water and drowns, like you see water shoot out of their eyes and stuff like that as their face explodes.
Okay.
Like I said, that's just like a weird, excessive gripe to me, but otherwise, like the game was great. I really enjoyed playing it. Just keep that in mind if you end up playing the game.
I don't think I like this name though. Brave Earth Prologue. It's not doing anything for me.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the name. It feels like with the fact that it's Prologue, he's got another game planned for it. But I don't know. This game comes out in this year, supposedly.
Right.
And I don't think that was it. I feel like there was at least one more game I played. But, there was. and I've already forgotten the name of it. Crap.
Okay.
So I'll look it up here in a quick second here. It was a Bomberman clone game that was actually really fun. It was 16 players, but the main gimmick of the
Whoa.
game was that every time you died, you actually got to put down a new piece of the stage. Trenchfoot. It was called Trenchfoot.
Oh, that is not what I was expecting for a Bomberman clone.
I know. I was a bit surprised with the name too. This is already out on Steam Early Access, I believe.
Trenchfoot is actually apparently the name of some kind of like disorder. So don't search Trenchfoot.
Also that.
Put game after it.
So
it's also the name of a board game.
Oh, interesting. So yeah, like you would put down different obstacles in the stage. You could put down more soft blocks to like slow down players. You could put down pipes to tunnel like explosions through. You could put down water to stop explosions in front of you. Another cool aspect was that you could collect rock pieces and you could drop rocks behind you to block explosions. So like if someone was trying to attack you, you could drop a block and cower behind it so you wouldn't get damaged.
Right.
But the real gimmick was that your bombs didn't have a limit to how big you could make them. So if you kept collecting firepower, you could eventually make an explosion that covered up at least half the screen, or like even the full screen. And explosions would wrap around corners, so you had to block yourself in to make sure you didn't accidentally kill yourself while trying to kill other players. So you would kill people, you would try to get around like their pipes and their like water obstacles that they put down. It was actually like extremely fun for a Bomberman clone, and it felt different enough to be cool.
Is this only multiplayer?
Yes.
Okay.
Currently, because it's so early access, there's no net play for it yet, so which means I can't really do it on stream yet.
Like it's local multiplayer right now?
Currently, but he did say he was going to work on netcode.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah. So that, like, keep an eye on that one. I feel like that's going to be really fun later on.
This is okay. November 18th. 16th, November 16th. Cool.
I'm trying to think here. That actually may have been it. If I think of something else, I'll talk about it, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be it for new games. Like, I played a lot of stuff in the indie booth. The indie area was extremely good this year.
Sounds like it. That's cool. Okay, well, I played some games in
All right.
2 weeks we were gone. I finished up Ace Attorney, which means I am officially caught up on everything Ace Attorney.
Nice.
I have played all the Ace Attorney games over here. Maybe at some point I'll play the DLC chapters that I've always like skipped over. But for now, I'm playing other stuff. So I just need them to. I know they've said they're working on a game for the Switch, and I just want that to come to the phone as soon as possible because I love playing those games on the phone. But yeah, that one ended up pretty cool. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. Spirit of Justice. Those are great games.
All right. I remember one more game. I'll talk about it once you're done.
Okay. Right now, I am playing through Thimbleweed Park.
Okay, I've heard a lot about this.
Yeah, this is Ron Gilbert's latest game. He was one of the original like adventure game developers back at like the Lucasfilm era, or I guess I just say the Lucas era. And this is it's like super old school where you have like the verbs in the bottom left corner of like how you interact with stuff. This is actually the first adventure game I've played with the verbs in them. Everything else has just been like an inventory system to combining stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
This is super Twin Peaksy. You're two federal agents coming to a very small town because there was a murder. The characters in the town are all weird. There's everyone's pretty silly. Like if you like adventure games, you know that there's like a level of humor that you will find in these, and that's definitely there for sure. What I really like is there are phones scattered throughout the game where if you dial, and there's like flyers to remind you what you need to dial. If you dial 4468, it'll call the hint line, and you can just get hints for whatever, and the game will know kind of like where you are story-wise, so they'll kind of know like which puzzle you should be on and stuff, and they'll even give you multiple hints if you want to ask for more and more stuff. So that's really great because at that point it means you just can't be stuck. Same with that vein is there's actually two modes to this game. There's casual mode and then hard mode. And I understand casual mode streamlines a whole bunch of the puzzles if you want to have more of a story playthrough that has like small puzzles in there. So you're kind of looking for a more casual time.
Okay.
I'm not playing on that, but I can definitely appreciate that as since this is old school, you are pixel hunting in some of these um puzzles, so that can definitely be frustrating.
Oh, that's like the worst aspect of those games.
It is the worst, but like I said, the hints will straight up just tell you like, "Oh, hey, the ink bottle's on his shelf." Oh, thank God. I didn't even realize there was an ink bottle there. Like, so despite, you can get stuck because you can't find something. If you're that stuck, you can find the solution just by you finding a phone, and there's tons of phones throughout the game. So it's easy you won't be stuck for long. So the frustration is easily avoidable. I'm playing on hard mode just because I wanted to see it as it is. Like, I didn't even know about the phones, but worst case scenario, I could look something up online. I'm a few hours into it. Again, the characters are real funny, and as a Twin Peaks fan, there's like lots of references to that, and I'm enjoying that quite a bit. I'm playing that on the phone because that went on sale like last week or something. And actually, speaking of Twin Peaks, I played through a game called Virginia. Played this on the Xbox. This came out I think a year or two ago. I don't know. It's a walking simulator. I don't really want to use that term because it seems dismissive, but it's that kind of game. And did you ever play 30 Flights of Loving?
Yes.
Okay, so it's actually kind of similar to that, in which it has a lot of just like jump cuts, and that game is a lot of you just kind of walking from like one side of whatever level it's set up to the other to kind of just see what happens, and then it does a jump cut to the next area. That's a lot of what Virginia is. And you play as a federal agent going to a small town where a boy has gone missing, and you have a partner agent, and you're kind of figuring out what's going on. The game's only about 2 hours long. I really kind of enjoyed it. The aesthetic is very similar to like 30 Flights of Loving mixed with The Witness, in which it's just like really like bright colors, really flat things, not as much detail as The Witness. So that's where the 30 Flights of Loving aesthetic kind of meshes with it. But this one's pretty Twin Peaksy as well, in the more like surreal aspect and like weird dream sequences that are going on. So if you're a fan of just kind of narrative focused stuff like that, maybe take a look at Virginia. Again, it's like 2 hours long. And what was really great is all the achievements are like really weird numbers. So I was finally able to fix my achievement score, and it's back to having a 5 after like years.
You've been freaking out about that for years.
Well, it's just every time I turn it on, like I hadn't cared for the longest time, but every time I would turn Xbox on, it's like there it is, ending with like a 2, which is annoying. And so when I finished Virginia, I was like, I wonder if there's any in here that end with a 1 or a 6. And there was one I hadn't gotten with a 1 for 31 points. So I went back, played through, and got that one, and it's been fixed, and it feels so good. It feels so good. So again, that game is Virginia, and that was kind of a weird thing, but I liked it. And then the big game I've been playing is Far Cry 5.
All right, now tell me about this. How different is it from the other ones?
I haven't played the other ones, but from everything I've heard, it's the same game.
Ooh, okay.
Again, I'm not the best to ask in comparisons because the only other Far Cry game I've played is Blood Dragon, which is not the best one to compare it with.
Fair.
But Paul already talked about this. They get rid of the tower climbing, and your mission structures are all organic through talking to people and just kind of finding things on the map. This game is so buggy. It is one of the buggiest AAA games I have played in so long. I was streaming it on the pre-show before this, and at one point the whole game just started slowing down for no good reason, and I couldn't figure out why, and I captured it, so if you want to watch that, you can see the game slow really weird. I've had multiple missions just like complete for me. I don't know how. In fact, that happened on the pre-show as well, now that I think about it. what was another? Oh, there was a pretty funny one. I finished this one mission and then, did a small cutscene of like, hey, thanks for saving our town. And then, the cutscene ends and it kind of restarts the gameplay. And then all of a sudden, a truck upside down fell from the sky. I was just like, whoa, what was that? That was pretty funny. I wanted to try and record it, but I actually had forgotten how to do it on the Xbox, so I missed my opportunity. The story is so heavy-handed in just how much of a sinner I am, and how these cultists they want to cleanse my soul because I'm a sinner, and it's so heavy-handed, and they never shut up about it, and it's constantly on the radio, and I skip every cutscene because of it. Every time I talk to a new NPC to like get a quest, I skip what they're talking about because I could not care less. I just want to go and blow stuff up. And that part of the game is fine. It's fun to blow stuff up, and you can play the whole game in co-op, which is probably the best part about it, because you and a buddy can just like go blow up an outpost, and that's great. So I'm having fun. I think my favorite part of these there's these what are prepper caches, which are like these little mini puzzle rooms that you'll come across through seemingly someone who was like, preparing for the end of the world. So they had like a stash of stuff underground or in a house, and it'll basically be like, hey, the stash is here, and you have to like figure out how do I get in the house. And usually, like the one I did on the pre-show, I had to like climb through a window, and then I had to like climb up the wall and onto like the roof of this like burned down building, and then kind of jump my way through until I got to this one room that had a panel in the ground that I could open up to get to the stash. So I like those, and there's apparently a ton of those in the game, and that's also how you get a lot of your perk points to upgrade your different skills. So I love doing those. Those are great. And if you do it in co-op, apparently, if you've already done those stashes, and then you go and join someone else's game and do the stash again, you can get the same perk points back again. So that's great, because my friend was joining my game, and he's like, wow, I'm getting like tons of perk points now. So that's kind of cool. That's a reason to do it. I'm super interested, however, in Far Cry Arcade, which is like a Mario Maker for Far Cry missions.
What?
That you can play in this. Yeah, you get to make your own missions, basically. And here's the coolest thing. It uses assets from not just Far Cry 5, but the previous 4, maybe 3 as well as Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed. They give you assets from those games too to make.
I'm a little sad you didn't say Blood Dragon, but okay.
I don't think Blood Dragon. I haven't played with it much, so and I haven't heard the Blood Dragon, but because of this, like you can, like Ubisoft is making some of their own as well. Apparently, there's like cool haunted house ones where you just place enemies, place different mission objectives, and then you're also using assets from these out of like these crazy games, which sounds super cool. And I want to try that out again for sure. That seems very cool. I'm excited about that.
Nice.
So yeah, that's Far Cry 5. And that's all I've been playing. So what was the game you remembered?
All right, the game I forgot about was Pizza Titan Ultra from the developers of Star Wall. Just the tip.
Okay.
They're a Canadian dev team based in Ontario, and Pizza Titan Ultra is a game where you play as a 10-foot tall robot pizza delivery service, where you have to run around a futuristic city delivering pizzas while fighting tanks and robots, and basically just trying to survive and make $1 while trying to not destroy the city.
Okay. This kind of looks like 100-foot robot golf.
In a way, it did remind me of that, and I think that's probably why I kind of liked it.
Yeah, just like kind of camera angle and stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, no golf, and you're fighting more.
Yeah. So at the con, they were using like some challenge mode where you basically had to like get a high score and run around the city, which actually reminded me a lot of Crazy Taxi, because you had to run around collecting clocks to get more time. There was just like tips you could pick up along the way. The more things you delivered, the harder it got. The more robots that showed up tried to beat you up. There were like secret collectibles hidden around the city, and if you picked up them all, you got like a tip bonus. There was there's certain like chefs hidden around the stage where they would have you actually make a pizza for them. Like you would time putting on the toppings in the right spot on the pizza. You would bake the pizza, then you would cut up the pizza, and then you would just get like a money bonus for it.
Okay.
It was actually like super fun, and I accidentally won a copy of the game. So I will probably be streaming that this weekend, at least for a little bit.
That's cool. When does that come out?
That comes out, I believe, the 24th of this month. It was
25th.
okay, yeah. So it was like honestly like a really fun, like silly ass game. It's like it's themed around like the old 80s and 90s like mecha shows. I think their site says like you can unlock parts to make your own custom mech. We were stuck with the default one in the demo. Like our super ability was like you got a super speed boost and stuff like that. But I'm sure there's a bunch of other stuff later on. I'm actually excited to play more of it and show it on stream.
That's cool. The end of the month, there's a lot of stuff coming out at the end of the month.
Yeah, it's getting crazy.
Did you see reviews for God of War came out today?
They are really good.
And apparently this game is just like amazing. Like
it's got a 94 on Metacritic or something crazy like that.
I saw. I didn't see anything lower than a 9, I believe. Let's see what Metacritic has. But I am so excited for God of War. 94 on Metacritic. Yep.
Yeah, which is apparently the same score the original God of War got.
I like the God of War games.
Yeah, but like it's good to know that this is apparently really good.
Which is like surprising because it's like what, like the 6th one?
8th apparently.
It's the 8th God of War. 1, 2, 3. There was the 2 PSP ones. Ascension.
Yeah, I feel like I'm forgetting 1 too. I doubt they're counting like the HD remake of 3.
Yeah, I doubt that you can't count that one if you don't count all the other like remakes because they ported all the PSP ones, right?
1, 2, 3, Ascension, Ghost of Sparta,
God of War. Oh, God of War.
Maybe it's only the 7th. Yeah.
Maybe it's only the 7th.
But either way, yeah, God of War apparently shaping up to be the best game of this month.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that. And Labo's later the same day.
Yeah, same day. That was same day. I'm trying to think of what else is coming out this month I care about. Yakuza, I think. Yakuza 6.
Yep.
Wild Guns Reloaded is going to be on Switch, so I'll have a port.
Okay, this is the 7th game.
7th game? Okay.
And I'm now learning that Ascension is apparently the first one chronologically.
Real? Oh yeah, that was the whole thing about it. Because they did the same thing that Gears of War did. Because Gears of War Judgment came out the same day, and it was also the first chronologically.
That's true, yeah. I'm excited. You gonna play God of War?
I probably will, honestly. Because apparently you don't need to worry about the story from the other ones as much.
Oh yeah, this is like a reboot, basically.
So like I think this is a good hopping back on point.
Also, like the story in God of War could not matter less. It's literally like he's real angry. that is the start and finish of it. He is just angry.
But apparently the story really matters on this one.
Yeah, I could see that. They seem like they have like the whole relationship with the son going. I'm excited. Okay, that's it. You played?
Yep. Let's go to the news.
Right. Let's do some news. We have a bunch of little stories. Banner Saga 3 that Nintendo announced got a release date. That's coming July 24th. Oddly enough, though, the Twitter account for Banner Saga didn't even mention the Switch version.
Weird.
But that's going to be on PC, Mac, PS4, and Xbox One. I don't know. And they're also going to be coming out with a complete Saga version, that all 3 of them combined in one thing. That'll be out on the same day. So you can buy them all at once. Let me move this over. All right. Let's look at. We got more original Xbox titles coming to backwards compatibility. See if any of these excite you. Blinks the Time Sweeper.
Hell yeah.
Breakdown.
Oh wow, I'm surprised.
These are the games coming April 17th, and then there's some later for Conquer Live and Reloaded. I'm excited for that one.
All right, fair.
That's a good game. Elder Scrolls 3. I'm surprised that wasn't already there. Hunter the Reckoning.
All right.
I have no idea what that is.
Heard that was okay.
Jade Empire.
All right, cool.
Panzer Dragoon Orta.
Hell yeah, I love that one.
And SSX 3.
All right.
And then on April 26th, you can play Destroy All Humans,
Nice.
Full Spectrum Warrior,
Interesting.
Mercenaries Playground of Destruction,
Good.
MX Unleashed,
All right.
Panzer Elite Action Fields of Glory,
I have no idea what that is.
Star Wars Battlefront,
Okay.
Battlefront 2,
Okay.
Jedi Knight Jedi Academy,
All right.
Jedi Starfighter,
I'm noticing a trend here.
Knights of the Old Republic 2 The Sith Lords, and Republic Commando.
Wait, but what about KOTOR 1? Is that already available or is that not available?
I have no idea. Trying to look at the images. I have no idea.
That's
I know there's
really
a list
weird.
somewhere, but anyway, that's coming to Xbox. I don't know who's using their Xbox One to play original Xbox games. I don't know, but you can do that.
I'm sure someone is.
This one's kind of interesting. Right now, Ghost Recon Wildlands has a free weekend, and it might be worth actually downloading it for free. This is on a Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, because they're added in a Splinter Cell mission.
Yeah, I saw this. There's this cutscene going around now of like Sam Fisher talking to someone and being sad about Snake no longer doing missions.
And it's voiced by the guy.
Yeah, it's Michael Ironside.
Like they actually got him. Which I think that's the crazy part. So I don't know what Wildlands is, but apparently it's just where you like put your your properties in, and then they make a mission for it, because they already had the Predator one a few months ago, which I think you can still also do. Anyway, I downloaded the game. I'm gonna try and play some of these weird missions this weekend, but maybe we're gonna get more Splinter Cell. Like, why would you get Ironside if they weren't like really interested in this?
See, now that's what I'm wondering. Are they teasing a new Splinter Cell by doing that? Because the big thing, the reason they didn't have Michael Ironside as Sam in Blacklist was because they said they wanted to mocap, and they wanted to have the actor who was mocapping also do the voice work to make it better.
They also like de-aged Sam in that game.
He's been getting younger in pretty much every game, to be fair.
No, I think it was just that one. Because the one before that, he was like an old guy, right? That was Conviction?
Yeah, Conviction.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he was an old guy in that one, wasn't he?
I don't know.
Splinter Cell Conviction.
I feel like Sam Fisher has looked progressively younger in each Splinter Cell game.
Oh, actually, no, he looks pretty young in this one, too. Oh, no, he still looks old. I don't know, man.
I think he's like in his mid-50s, basically, I think is what they're going for. That's the look they want for Sam.
Anyway, this version, he's the older Sam Fisher again. Which, that's kind of cool. Good for them. I don't know what this means. Are they doing anything? There hasn't been a Splinter Cell in a while. Maybe E3?
Who knows? That'd be a nice surprise. I'd be down.
That'd be interesting. It'd probably be an open world game at this point, right?
Yeah. How would you do an open world? I guess that's technically Metal Gear 5. Never mind.
Yeah, similar to Metal Gear 5, maybe. And Assassin's Creed Origins, that's an open world. That game's always been open, and they have.
I guess that's all. I didn't even think of that. You're totally right.
Firewatch is coming to Switch. Firewatch is a great game. Play that on the Switch. This is a bit ago, but
yeah, we weren't on last week, so
Spyro Reignited, the trilogy, has finally been announced officially, and it was from this Amazon Mexico page, I think, is what dropped it. That's what I have here. And when I click this link, you can buy it for $738.
Hell yeah, I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah. Plus $50.62 for something. I'm assuming that's shipping. It says tarifas and importation. I don't know. Anyway, for $800, you can get this game that's not out yet. Or I guess you'll get it when it's out, which is September 21st. I'm just going to translate this page. There we go. Import fees may apply. Okay, $50 in shipping. Otherwise, if you want to just buy an American copy of it, it's going to be $40 like Crash. So yeah, kind of the worst kept secret, but that's official now. Are you going to get this game? Did you get the Crash one?
I did get Crash, yeah. But I got it when it was on sale, so.
Are you going to get Spyro?
Probably the same thing when it's on sale.
Right. Yeah, I got Crash for the Switch, which comes out in July, because there was a price error. And
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, okay, I'll order
Yeah,
that.
I think Crash Trilogy was going for like $20 at some point. So I'm like, all right, I'll buy it for that.
Yeah, I think I got mine for around 25 for the Switch when that comes out. Speaking of weird pricing, I went to Toys R Us last weekend
Hmm.
on their final day, at least the Toys R Us near me, the final day of the clearance, the selling out. Um, everything was 80% off,
Ooh.
and if you bought 7 items, you get an additional 50% off.
Wow.
Um, so I bought a bunch of games that I never planned to play, uh, for like $25 total. But I now own NHL 16 on the Xbox One and Rugby 15
So what
on
you're
the
telling me
Xbox
is you
One.
bought shit you don't care about.
Yeah, and then I bought a second Tom Nook amiibo because I was like, I'm gonna save you, buddy. It was the last amiibo, and I was like, I'm gonna save you from this hellhole, little dude. Come with me. Insomniac's Spider-Man game. We finally got a bunch of info on that. Game Informer had like an exclusive, and that's coming out September 7th. And there's like 1,000 gifs online of Spider-Man swinging, and this game looks awesome.
All right.
Looks super cool. So September, big month, as usual. And this is last story. This one's kind of interesting. Steam Spy is pretty much going to be shutting down. So for those who don't know, Steam Spy is a service that it wasn't exact numbers, but it was a pretty good estimate of how many digital copies a game would sell on Steam. Because we don't actually, like, if you think of the NPD numbers, those are physical games. We don't really know the digital sales, and Steam Spy was trying to come up with the Steam sales. And the way they did this is by looking at user profiles and seeing if the game was registered to that profile and on the profile. And I understand Steam is updating their privacy settings to make everyone's game libraries hidden by default.
Hmm.
So with that being the case, Steam Spy can no longer look at all the games registered because they can't see the users' games anymore. And so we're losing out on Steam Spy.
That's a bit of a bummer because there's no real way for users to know how well a game's sold. But maybe that's information that I'm assuming that's just info that straight up Steam doesn't want to share.
Right. Well, I mean, it's not like Steam's job to share it, but like also companies don't like share that if they don't have to. And so this was just kind of like cool information to be able to see how well is a game doing on Steam, how many people bought it. Um, so yeah, it's kind of a bummer, but I mean, it's not a huge issue if you didn't really care. All right, and with that, let's go on to some questions.
All right.
If people would like to send questions, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Facebook group, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box. Those are all great ways to send in questions. I'll read this first one from Mega Latino. Ever since John got the sponsorship for his next PC, I was wondering what non-gaming YouTubers do the three of you follow, and if you're a fan of a certain Canadian tech YouTuber. Do you know who he's referencing?
I'm going to assume that's probably Linus Tech Tips they're probably referring to there.
I have no idea what that is or who they could be referring to. So no, I don't.
Yeah, that is Linus Tech Tips they're referring to.
Okay.
They're based in BC.
Do you follow any non-gaming YouTubers?
The non-gaming YouTubers I follow are like TV shows, or music stations, so not really.
Whoa, Paul's in the chat.
Yep. Oh, you just noticed?
Oh shit! Yeah, well, I was looking at all the news stories.
He's
Hey,
been chilling at a train station waiting for his train. He's listening in.
Nice, Paul. Where are you right now?
Japan.
Yeah,
I answered for it. I answered
think he's
for
in
him.
Kyoto. Anyway, sorry. Who do you follow?
Like I follow like a bunch of TV shows and radio stations. That's about it.
Okay, I'm trying to non-gaming YouTubers. I follow some like fitness channels, and I follow like Cloth Map, which is like a travel but it's also video game travel related. Paul says he's in Kyoto. Yeah, I thought so.
Okay, nice.
Um, I do follow this one channel that just makes compilations of some popular Japanese commercials each week, and those are always just delightful to watch. So I like that quite a bit. I could not tell you the name of it though. Yeah. Do you want to take this next one from Green Fantastic?
All right, Green Fantastic writes in and says, how many is a couple of, i.e. a couple of people, a couple of jelly beans? Also, how many is a few? A couple is usually referring to 2 to 4. And a
What?
few, yeah.
A
Because
couple is 2.
No, 2 to 3 is actually, you've never heard that?
Look, these people are a couple,
Yeah.
and there's 2 of them.
And there's a couple people over there. Like,
And
usually,
there's 2 of them.
Yeah, no, couple is 2 to 4. And a few is usually around 7 to 8.
Wow. Okay, I was gonna say a couple is 2, and a few is 3 or more. That's how I would do it. Just because couple by itself is already a different word meaning like 2 people. 7 or 8. Wow. If I saw 7 or 8 people, I'd be like, first off, where am I? And second off, I'd be like, this is too many people. At 7 or 8 is too many people. That's what I would do.
I'm willing to accept 5 up for few, but I'm still going to stick with 2 to 4 for couple.
Okay. All right. Sombrero Mustache writes in and says, what are some of your favorite joke bosses? I'm always a fan of that Waddle Dee that shows up as one of the final bosses in DDD's Revenge and Kirby Superstar Ultra that you can beat in one hit. Got any joke bosses?
I like the one in Gunstar Heroes. That's literally the same thing. He literally just stands there and dances, and then the actual boss just shows up, kills him, and then you have to fight the real boss. Also, yeah, the Waddle Dee is really good in Kirby. Like that's he's in a couple games like that.
I like making the joke that the ladder in Metal Gear Solid 3 is the hardest boss. And if you do the time trick, what's his name? The End? What's the old guy?
Oh, the End is literally
The End. Yeah, I feel like that becomes a joke boss if you do the time trick. Anything else? Joke bosses. All right. Oh, it looks like Paul also says he stands with me. I think we're talking about the couple and few scenario. So Paul's on my side. Yeah, he said couple is 2. We'll see if he answers the next question. We have a second question here from Sombrero Mustache. What are your favorite things about Calgary and San Francisco for John and Sean respectively? Your least favorite and one thing you would change about the cities?
My favorite thing and my least favorite thing about Calgary is both the weather.
Okay. What do you like about the weather?
The fact that I can have like plus 10 degree weather in winter.
Okay. Keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
All right.
And the thing I hate is the fact that I can basically have winter all the way up until June.
I've had snow or hail in every month in Calgary.
Yep.
So
that has also happened.
Yeah. Oh, Paul is now leaving for Hiroshima, so he's no longer in the chat. Have fun, Paul. Hiroshima's a cool city too. Okay, what's the one thing you would change about Calgary?
Make the weather a bit more bearable. I think it's really just the weather I hate about and love about Calgary.
Okay. If I had to do San Francisco, okay, what's one thing I like about San Francisco? I like that it doesn't snow here. I'm never really that cold.
That's fair.
Least favorite thing, I see human shit every single day on the way to work.
Oop! Bagel.
And if I don't see human shit, I definitely see used needles. So there's that. One thing I would change, Okay, I got two. One, there's a homeless people problem in San Francisco that should definitely be changed. Uh, and my second one is, and this is like a real current one. There's these scooters that have appeared.
Like Vespas?
No, like they are motorized scooters or electric motorized scooters, but the small ones, like a Razor scooter, but motorized.
Ah,
Um, they all appeared kind of at the same time, and the concept of these ones is, do you know those like to go bikes where they have like little stations you can go to and you can unlock and like take them out for an hour, or like you get paid for an hour
yep.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I see those in
And
the
they
States a lot.
yeah, so those have been here for a while, and they're like the ones near me are like Ford to go bikes, and you take them from one station to another and you can drop them off. The concept with these scooters though is you just leave them anywhere. So if you want a scooter, you have to open up your phone and it'll direct you to wherever like the closest one is. But what that means is people are just leaving them in the middle of the sidewalk.
Oh,
So every day I walk to work, there'll be just like three scooters laying on the sidewalk because that person was done with it. And I don't know why this all happened at once, but I've seen three different brands of these and they all appeared like this month. Like I don't know what happened, but these suck. It's like the weirdest thing. So I would get rid of those. Those are dumb.
that is really weird. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's like, yeah, I don't know, man. App tech people, whatever. All
Bagel.
right, that's everything
Sorry.
good with Bagel.
Yeah, he's threatening to jump on my Switch.
That's it for questions this week. If people want to send in questions for next week, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Facebook group, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box. John, what is your game of the week?
Probably the Messenger.
That's all right. Very cool. I'm gonna give mine. I'm gonna pick two, one for last week and one for this week. Last week was Ace Attorney because I finished it up and I loved the ending. It was super super great. And this week I'm gonna give it to Thimbleweed Park.
Nice.
And heads up for anyone listening to this, which is everyone. Tomorrow, Friday, I'm going to be putting up the submission post on Patreon for May's TDP Plus game for our Blue Eyes White Dragon tier backers. So if you are one of those backers, look for that post and start thinking of what game you want to send to me to put in the poll, which will be going up a week from tomorrow. So that'll be going live on April 13th, when this episode should also be going live. And that'll do it for this week. Thanks everyone for listening. Paul should be back next week. But we'll see you then. See you guys.
Bye, everybody.